Today I would like to talk about on one thing that I feel is perceived as a bad thing, but it really shouldn't be, because I feel that it's probably like one of the key, or if not the most important trait as a producer if you want to be successful, not just in producing but in anything. Oh yeah! Oh. I'm really enjoying making melodies at the minute. Like, it's just so much fun. Since I did that last tutorial, well, not last tutorial, there was a melody tutorial about 5 or 6 days ago where I spoke about like adding a lot more sounds, but like making each sound way like super simple and like adding variation that way. The outcome of like the beats, the drums are super simple, but the outcome of the beats just sounds way better than like adding loads of drums. So like, listen to this one right here. I've got this. Just repeats this like weird atmospheric sound. And then just these like Chinese strings. Oh, this guitar loop, this is like the main part, I think. And then this thing. This flute. That'll drop out of the beat, and then this like really old school loop is gonna play. Madness. Right, let's go make this bit into a beat, shall we? That's it. Oh my god. Yes. We're out here today, people, making cookies for those bad boys. I think he wants some as well. Hey. Shit back. Oh yeah. I'm literally running out of ideas of like things to film. It's come to making biscuits and cookies and filming that. But I do this regularly. If you want to like get away from making beats and you don't want to be going to the gym and training, bake. Baking's amazing, honestly. That's a gem. That's a producer gem. That's another gem for the video. Make cookies in your downtime. Heading down to the river. So you know what that means. Time for a rant. Hopefully some gems as well, not just me shouting at the camera for 10 minutes. This is a good spot. Alright then. Another rant. I haven't been down here for a while to rant. It feels like I haven't done rants for a while. Today I would like to talk about, well, give you some gems on one thing that I feel is perceived as a bad thing, but it really shouldn't be, because I feel that it's probably like one of the key, or if not the most important trait or mindset, I guess, as a producer if you want to be successful, not just in producing but in anything. You know, if you want to be good at anything, if you want to truly be good, not just like be able to make a half decent beat and call yourself good. I mean, like, have the accolades to back that up, to be credible, you know, to have the placements to back it up, to have the sales to back up. I don't know, for somebody to look at you and automatically know that you're good, not you telling people that you're good. In this kind of mindset, it is perceived as a bad thing, but I'm going to kind of break it down and tell you why this is probably one of the most important things, because number one, you won't burn out because of this. Number two, I'll go into the advantages after I've actually told you what it is. So I think that being obsessed, you have to truly be obsessed with anything that you want to do to be successful at it, because if you're not, number one, like if you're not truly obsessed with it, then you're not really going to want to get better. You're not going to want to improve at doing it. Number two, that's not going to be a priority for you, which means, you know, if anything else comes up, if some guys are going down to the club or the bar, like, that's going to take priority over doing this, making beats. So being obsessed is like, I'd say it's probably one of the most, not, there's other traits as well, you know, like being resilient and all that kind of stuff, but being obsessed is probably up there as one of the top things that you need to sort of be in order to be successful at this. And I'll give you some tangible stuff. Like, I'm not just going to say be obsessed, because, you know, how do you measure obsession? Like being obsessed, you can't measure that. It's stupid. I always talk about like measuring stuff, because I used to do sports science, and I always think about like, how do you actually measure this? How can I actually give tangible advice? When I say obsession, like, and this should be from within. This shouldn't be me telling you to like be obsessed. So being obsessed means like making beats and trying to sell beats and growing your audience and growing your personal brand as a producer. That should take priority over basically everything. Now, I'm not going to say it takes priority over family time. I'm not saying it's taking priority over your relationships, really important personal things to you. Like, I'm not saying it's going to take priority over that, but it needs to be on par with family. It needs to be on par with relationships. It has to be, because there's a lot of people out there, including myself, who is just as obsessed, or if not more obsessed than you. And I'm saying it because I know I am obsessed, and you need to have that mindset if you want to be good at this, because I can't sit there and say that somebody else works harder than me. I have to put in the work and know that I'm working harder than somebody. Even if I'm not, doesn't matter. As long as I think I am, and I know I'm on the right track, and that's the way you should think about it too. But this whole thing, you know, whatever you're trying to build, it doesn't matter what, you know, little lane you're trying to go for. If you want to just do type beats, if you want to just do YouTube, if you want to just make vlogs, it doesn't matter. You have to be obsessed, and it has to take priority over social events. You can't be gaming all day, you can't be watching Netflix. I'm not saying don't do it, but that can't be the predominant part of your day. Like, this has to take up a good portion of your day. You have to do this solidly in order to see any success. And it's not going to happen overnight. Trust me, if you go back and look at my first video, I think I put a clip in of my old video, like my very first video in that last vlog that I've just posted, and it's embarrassing. Like, it's totally embarrassing, but I'm just as obsessed, probably if not more obsessed, with what I'm trying to accomplish and achieve now as I was then. I was excited back then, I was super obsessed, I was super motivated. I'm still as motivated. It's not as exciting because I'm used to being on camera now, I'm used to making beats, but I'm still obsessed with constantly achieving that, with constantly getting sales, with constantly, you know, building YouTube, you know, constantly building whatever I want to build, you know, building ads and making sure that they work properly. Like, everything you have to be obsessed with. And it even breaks down to little things, like if you're going to put out a drum kit, you need to be obsessed with making that the best drum kit that you've made yet. It has to be the best drum kit, it has to be the best product, because if it isn't, then you're not going to believe in it, you're not going to want to market it properly. That's going to be a small, like, psychological thing in your head that you wasn't fully invested in that product, so you're not going to be invested in pushing it out to people and expecting people to buy it. Not only that, like why would you want to half-ass something? I don't understand people that want to get really successful but do it half-assed. It doesn't make any sense. Like, the reason why people are doing well and the reason why people aren't is because the people that aren't don't want to do it well. The people that are successful want to do it, like, to the very, very best. Like, look at Kyle Beats' videos. Look at how well he edits his videos. Look at how much attention to detail he puts into his videos, you know, just the whole format of the videos and how they've sort of evolved, you know, over time. If you go back and look at my videos, if you go back and look at his videos, Ocean Beats videos, like, you can see that solid progression. If they wanted to do it half-assed, if I wanted to do it half-assed, you'd still be seeing the crap videos that I used to make over a year ago. But I haven't, you know, I constantly want to try and, you know, make things a lot better. And that all comes from being like obsessed. You have to treat this as an obsession. You know, you do have control over this, but that doesn't mean to say you shouldn't be working more than full-time hours at it. So basically what I'm trying to say now is, if you really want to do this, if you really do want to do this, don't DM me and say, like, I need to get subscribers. I've been uploading beats for a week. This is going to take time. It's going to take a couple of years before you even start getting any traction. Then things will start to happen. But as long as you're obsessed the whole way through, as long as you're every day you're waking up and thinking, like, you know, what can I do to make more people aware of what I'm trying to build? What can I do to improve a certain thing every single day? If you're doing that every single day, those days are going to add up. Think about it as like a numbers game, like the amount of people you've reached out to as a cumulative number. By the end of the year, if you're doing it every day, you're going to have reached out to over 100,000 people. That's a lot of people to reach out to. If you do that every day, if you do, I don't know what the maths are, I don't know what the numbers are, but let's say for example, if it was like 10 people a day, and by the end of the year you've reached 100,000 people, that's a lot of people that's going to be aware of like you and your brand. Not all of them are going to come back, granted, but that's still a lot of people that are at least slightly aware of you if they see an advert pop up, or if they see you on their newsfeed or something like that. So you just have to be totally obsessed with this, like you really do. If you're not, then it's not for you. That's not a bad thing. It just means that your priorities lie elsewhere. And if they do, then go and find that thing that you want to just wake up and do all the time, because that's when you'll become obsessed, and that's when you'll start seeing success. So yeah, you can't treat this as a side hobby. I mean, you can. If you have family, if you have things to pay, if you have bills to pay, you can do that. You can treat it as a side hustle, but it still has to be a hustle, and you still have to be obsessed. You still have to be obsessed with this as a side hustle. And hopefully, if you want to make it a full-time job at some point, it will become that. I'm not doing this like 100% full-time. It is basically full-time money. You know, I still have other commitments on the side, not all year round, but I still have other commitments, but I'm still obsessed, you know. I'm just now circling around, I'm going around in circles now. Yeah. Be obsessed, stay disciplined, just stay at it, and trust me, you will. Given enough time, if you put in enough work, if you pay the price, if you pay that success tax that a lot of people talk about, then you will come out the other end and, you know, be doing well, be doing very well. It's like a pep talk for myself here. Jesus Christ, right, that's enough for today. I hope that helped you guys out a little bit who, you know, struggling and think you're not getting anywhere. If you are obsessed with it, you are getting somewhere, trust me. Just keep plugging away. I need to get up off this rock. Jesus Christ. Oh.